How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt, all right? How's it going, everybody? Happy Monday. So freaking happy to be on. Weekend was not too bad. It was all right. It wasn't bad. I can't complain. But I'm very happy to be back on. A lot of very cool things going on that I'm going to be sharing with you, especially with all the Ortex data. If you've been on the channel, you know I'm looking at the Ortex data. I'm doing a deep dive. It actually has turned into a whole thing, what I thought was going to be an easy deep dive, but I actually found some extremely cool, very interesting, very exciting news from that Ortex kind of data that I want to share with you guys. I give you guys a little preview of what I found, but realistically, I'm like in talks with like Python developers because I need someone to scrape Ortex and grab all the data and then really put it in a comprehensive thing. I mean, it's a whole thing. I'll go over it in a little bit, but that's essentially the gist of it that we'll talk about. So let me say hi to the chat. We'll catch up on AMC, Gamestop. We got new stocks that we're just watching. It's crazy. It's fantastic. And we'll see what's going on. All right. So Diamond Backhand was first. Shout out to Diamond Backhand for giving me some suggestions for what to talk about for today. Going to help me out with some of this stuff. So I appreciate it. Dog says he's back like he first. Let's see what else we got going on. Humza, hello, yo. Diane, I made it. Diamond says, what a crazy week it's going to be. And I think if not tomorrow, next Tuesday could be massive, not Moaz. All right. Yeah, I think today is going to be I wouldn't be surprised if today's a crazy week. These stocks are making some serious moves. I mean, Ortex is really on top of it. And granted, of course, they're always going to call out their winners, right? Anyone who has a huge winner is going to call out their huge winner, and they're going to continue to just talk about that winner all the time. And I really can't blame them. But, it is what it is. Eric says, Corey, how you doing? I have a couple of friends that have been riding the support. I hope I didn't say spirit. The support and BBIG train, putting profits into AMC. I've stayed out because I don't like chasing a play. Eric, I completely agree with you. I am starting to get a little, as we all know, I don't like to chase plays. However, with these short squeeze plays that Ortex has been talking about, I have been taking a liking to some of them. I haven't jumped into any of them, but I've noticed that even though like they started moving, and in my eyes it is a chase, whenever they do that short squeeze signal, more recently it's just seemed like it's looking fantastic, right? And toward the end of the stream, I am going to show you guys kind of the Ortex data of what I found a little bit. I found a very interesting trend, but until I collect all the data that I'm trying to collect, it's really not going to be definitive, I should say, I guess. It's not really, you'll see what I mean if you're able to stick around to the end, or if you watch this at a later time, you can go to the end or whatever. But yeah, so I'll show you with that stuff. Dog says chasing is dangerous. I don't like to chase, but I think there may be an exception with some of these stocks. Diane with the classic. There are 20 Tuesdays until the end of 2021. I love it. Macamania, what's up, 8 fam? Diamond says I had shares of Spirit sold today and Friday 4 times my money. My gosh. And this is one of the downfalls to not chasing, I suppose you could say. I like to stick to that rule, and because I stick to that rule, I've missed out on the support play, right? Support has been running, then it runs again and runs again. The thing is, no one knows when it's going to run out of steam, right? So you're sure I could have ridden it and been up 200%, right? But at the same time, it's like, would I have hopped on? How much would have I hopped on? Would it have still gone up? You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, what's going to happen? And for all I know, I have time to hop on now, and I'm going to miss it. So yeah. Equinox Corey, what's up? Candy Bennett, hi Corey, hello. Umber, greetings Corey and all. Grant, what is up? I think we're on the cusp of some big stuff, guys. What's up? Lil Durl, what's up? Simon Marsh, gonna see a breakout to $55 very soon. Actually, I would love to see that breakout. I think we need a breakthrough here. Okay, few more chats, and then we're talking about AMC. Jason, yeah, I think so. Yep, Macamania, I'm in the same boat here. Macamania says, I haven't jumped into any of those plays, but congrats to anyone who's made some money on them. William, what is up? What is up? All right, let's go ahead and talk about AMC. So AMC had a pretty nice day. It was up 6.10% on the day, ended at $43.33. Currently in the after hours, up about 0.28%. Not too bad. Looking pretty solid. If we zoom out here, let's go ahead and look at the 1 month. Well, if we go to the 1 month and we zoom out a little bit, we can see basically a cup and handle formation, right? We can see this cup right here, a little bit of a handle. And actually, whenever you see this, this is a bullish pattern. And if we can even bring this over here a little bit, kind of a cup right here. And we can see, I like this cup a little bit better. And we can see up here, right? It goes up and then it kind of comes down. And typically on a cup and handle, it's going to be more bullish, right? It's going to go up. So definitely feeling good about that. Me too. Hello, what is up? What's up, bro? Still holding my STRP calls, $39. Have 7 calls left. Nice. I don't know where STRP is at right now, so hopefully you're in the green. And that's what I think is going on here. I mean, it looks pretty solid. Again, I think we're moving in the right direction. We'll take a look at the Ortex data in a little bit as per usual, but you guys know how I feel, and I'm pretty sure the Ortex data is exactly where we think it is, anyways. GameStop. Kind of a sideways day, right? Up 2.07% on the day. In the after hours, up 0.9%. Currently in the after hours at 209.38. Dogecoin still on a downward trend, is around 27 cents. It did hit around 35 cents. When was this? On the 15th of around the 15th of August, so 15 days ago about. And so just kind of been on downward trend. I don't think this is the end of Dogecoin, but you know, a little bit of consolidation here. Bitcoin also at 47K. It was around 50K about on the 23rd, so about 7 days ago. But also a bit of a downward trend here. So some of the other things that we've been keeping an eye on. Carnival's one I've been looking at. Carnival's down 3% on the day. Hood is down 6.89% on the day. Support is going off, right? Support is going, yes, Diamond, I did, thank you. Support is going off, right? Support is over here at 30. It was up 38.21% in the regular market hours. In the after hours, it is up 2.67%, right? And now actually, okay, so tomorrow is the day I'm looking forward to, right? Tomorrow is the T+2 to see what is going on with the Ortex short data. Remember, it takes about 2 days to update, and I'm curious to know what that's going to look like tomorrow, because if tomorrow it is at an all-time high, I really, you know, theoretically on paper, this thing is ready. It is going to be is going to be set up for success. Right, it's going to be set up for success. I don't have much money, but I might just throw in a little bit to just be part of the play, just like, you know, make a few bucks or something like that. But again, as you all know, not really something I'm moving any of my AMC stock to. This is a completely separate play if you have the risk tolerance for it. As you know, I do not like to chase, but I kind of do like this setup a little bit depending on the short interest data. All right. So let's go up here. So I don't know why. Oh, I guess these are ones that we had looked at before. AQST is, oh, actually, this is what somebody's talking about right here. Angel's talking about AQST. I might load up tomorrow. AQST, again, you know, this is where it gets really tricky. This looks like potentially a cup and handle situation where it's going to go down. It was up 15% on the day. It's at $4.66. I again, you know, I just don't like to chase. It had a pretty solid day today. I would probably personally be expecting some kind of retracement. Not sure if this is a heavily shorted stock, but if it is a heavily shorted stock, it could be a fantastic play, but I'm not sure about this one just yet. MMAT is one that people have been talking about, up 7% on the day, looking pretty solid. Let's pull up a BBIG, which is another one that has been going freaking insane. One of the short squeeze indicators for them, right? As a matter of fact, can I put these kind of, let me take a look at here. Moved in the after hours, BBIG. I wonder if BBIG is going to have a huge day tomorrow, right? If BBIG has a huge day tomorrow, I mean, this let me see here. Let me compare these side by side. charts, no. Grid, 2 charts. This is BBIG. This one would be SPRT. We'll go ahead and zoom out over here, and then we'll put this on a, what is this one on? 1 hour candles. Two-hour candles? No, 1 hour candles. Okay. Trying to compare these a little bit. Not really sure if I can accurately compare these. They do have their similarities, like, you know, they have their big top down, but realistically the time frame is a little bit different. I'm not sure if I can actually compare these adequately, so I'll kind of leave it as is, but it's very interesting. I want to look at that short data. This one, so this is obviously, you know, just different days, different time frames. I want to look at this one for tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll see what the short interest is, the short information. We may be able to see something here, right? Well, we'll have to see. So we'll see what happens with these. What's up, Fred? What's up, Susan? Susan also thinks AQST and BBIG are going to run this week. All right, yeah, we'll take a look at the short interest data on Ortex in just a second. And I got you, Jason. So let's start with AMC. We'll move our way down the list, all right? Let's go to AMC first. So this AMC short interest information, let's see here. Okay, so still around the same that we've been at, right? So let me go ahead and pull these numbers up. We can see the estimated short interest of the free float is around here, and it's still kind of teetering around this peak, right? All-time high being around 19.64%. We're currently around 17%, 18%, kind of going up and down and up and down between there. But either way, it's still very, very high. Okay, it's extremely high. And we're in this area where whenever it gets this high, typically we have some kind of move, right? And I think that we're getting ready for some kind of move, just based on historically, right? Hey, what's up, Mo? Nope, just in time. We're getting to the good stuff. All right, so now we're so that's what's going on here. As we know, we'll talk about it really quick. Shares on loan is still very extremely high. We can look at the history of it right here on loan, and we can see here it's not as high as the all-time high, but it is heading in the direction of this is still extremely high. This is about 20% of the free float, and again, this does not include naked shorts, synthetic shares, anything like that. This is just what is just available here. This is about 80% of exchanges. I think it's 80%. Utilization also 92, we'll call it 93%, sure. And utilization is also extremely high. It's not, you know, this goes up to 100%. It's not at 100%, but it is, again, heading in that direction. And again, whenever we see it at 100% for a while, like we did over here, that's when we saw this crazy move from $10 all the way to $70. And so we'll see if this gets all the way back there, up there again. Either way, at the end of the day, what this information tells me personally, make your own financial decisions. This information personally tells me that's it. It is what it is. This is not a dead cat. This is the way it's going. All right. So let's go ahead and continue over here onto Ortex. So if we look at Ortex here, oh wait, this is the Ortex Twitter. Let's look at the Ortex Twitter. And if we miss anything in the Ortex Twitter, then we'll go back over to AMC. Back over to the actual Ortex platform. Probably go back and forth, okay? Okay, so let's see what what everyone was talking about today on Ortex. BBIG. I guess we'll go down the list here, right? So let's start with BBIG over here. BBIG. So Ortex over here said BBIG short interest our short interest estimate has increased by 2.18% today, with 10 times more shares being borrowed than returned, despite a cost to borrow average of 220%, which is just insane, right? So what I'm interested in is the actual numbers, right? So what historically what they've looked like compared to what is actually going on with this stock. So this stock, it looks like it's had a run actually previously. Can we see any of the indicators on here? Any of these indicators? short interest. Actually, I should be able to. We'll go back in just a second and we'll look at the those indicators in just a second. So fly high and enjoy. Fly high, enjoy. Fly high, enjoy. Says, when does short interest T2 come out? So that the answer is kind of in the question. So T2 means T plus 2, or 2 days later, right? So this information is going to come out. This information up here, I believe, is T plus 2. It comes out 2 days later. Even this information, I do like to wait a little bit. It says that it's updated kind of daily, but I'm sure it's probably accurate. But at the same time, I do like to wait a little bit. I don't know if that's the wrong thing to do or what. But let's take a look at the short interest, right? We can see here, the short interest was around 32%, and then it kind of went down, and this thing ran, right? And this thing is continuing to go up while it runs. I mean, even if you caught it back here, it's at 26%. We're currently at 28%. The all-time bottom right here is even at 27%. We're at 28%. So if this information is accurate, right, this thing still can do some serious movements, especially since the utilization is so sky high. And it being so sky high makes me feel like there's room for real moves here, right? Hey, what's up, Lee? There's real room for moves here. So this is just one thing. Let's take a look at the actual utilization here. The utilization over here has been, and this is exactly what we saw. Do you guys recognize this? This is exactly what we saw with AMC, right? AMC, before it had its huge move, it was all the way up here, all the way up here. And then it had its huge move, and then it kind of, the utilization went down a little bit, and now it's on trending upwards. And this is the same thing. BBIG looks like it is getting ready for some kind of crazy launch, okay? Just based on historically what we've seen. Let's look at the shares on loan. Shares on loan also an all-time high. Now I'm curious what this information is going to like tomorrow and the next day, especially whenever that next day, whenever we hit that T plus 2 mark. I'm very curious to know what this number is going to look like, but at the same time, like, is there going to be retracement? Is it going to launch? And then if you don't get in sooner than later, are you going to miss it? So many different questions that I'm trying to figure out this Ortex data, because I mean, Ortex, more recently, it seems like it's just giving you like free, insane plays, right? And I just, it almost seems too good to be true. Mo, absolutely. Actually, I was thinking about this. That's probably what I'm going to start just calling it. Mo says, anyone else think Ortex missed an opportunity by not calling themselves short techs? And that's exactly what I want to call them. I want to call them short techs instead of Ortex. So if I ever refer to it as short text, you know what I'm talking about, the short information on Ortex. So yes, I think it's extremely interesting. BBIG is like really set up for success here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write this down here because it has been moving, and I'll show you what I'm doing with this stuff in just a second. Actually, I need to move this over here. I'll show you that information in just a second. Don't worry about it, because I'm going to walk you through all of it. So that is that. So let's also go backwards, right? Because this is something that I want to test, and this is something that I've been noticing whenever it comes to these indicators, right? So let me see if I can find the trading signals. Okay, so if we go to the trading signals, we can look historically, and if we go historically, let me see if this goes backwards if this gives us anything at all. I wonder if I can choose exactly what I want to find. A menu, add more to the chart. I wonder if I can remove things from the chart as well. Price. Okay, you know what? We'll just close this. We'll just let it be as is. But what I will say is we can see these short squeeze indicators, right? So if we go back a little bit, where's S? Short squeeze, right? Type 3. And so this happened whenever it's all the way back here. And so this is the first indicator, right? First indicator was all the way back here on January 21st. Oh, is this January 20? Oh, yeah, it's January. And it went from $1.50 all the way to, you know, a high of almost $10. We'll call it $9 a high, right? So some crazy moves whenever these things are shouted. And so something I'm doing is I'm going to want us to, the reason I'm hiring a person to help me do this data is because I want to have it done right, and I want to have it done definitively. I don't want to have any kind of like half-baked strategy, half-baked information. I want legit information with the best kind of stats that I can get. And with that being said, like that's what we see over here. So there's a bunch of different times you could have like hopped in. Here's another short squeeze indicator, right? And so it kind of gives you, like at the bottom, it says like if you hold for 1 day for a profit of 11.87%. I've just been ignoring those because we can see the potential. But the question is, when are you going to pull out? When are you going to get in? When are you going to get out? How are you going to do your play? And that's a whole nother question. But we can see here, if you would have hopped in, back on May 21st, it was around, what was the price around here? Yeah. Oh, we'll hold for 1 day. So it was announced right here on May 20th. Let's see, the high was $3.34. And if you go forward over here, we can see another one where the high was $5.24. And this was on the June 4th, right? So this is, we'll call it 15 days later. That's what happened. And we can even go over here and we can see another indicator was on the 4th. And then it went all the way up to from a high of 524 to a high of 605. So anyways, there are other indicators like short squeeze indicators that have been told before, right? And more recently, and sometimes, and I'm going to show you some charts in a second so you can see why I'm like looking at all these different kind of triggers, the short squeeze indicators that Ortex gives us, because some of them are really, really fantastic, right? Really fantastic. And we'll get into those. Some of them calling them like basically down here, and then it has a crazy stupid run, and it just calls it super early. But I wonder how many are actual winners and how many actually aren't, which is why I need the data to support it. And so we can see all this stuff here, how it looks pretty dang solid. And there could be a play here, like if you base it off the short squeeze indicator, and then if the RSI is going crazy, I don't know. Could be a bunch of different plays, so we may have to look like even deeper, but that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's move on. That was BBIG. We already talked about good old AMC. Let's talk about, and actually let's look at AMC while we're looking at this stuff, right? So let's go to AMC and we'll go to the actual short squeeze indicators, right? Let's see when they actually called AMC, because I think AMC is one of those great examples actually. So let's let this load, and here is November, right? So here's November. So in November they had a short squeeze indicator, right? But the question is like, how long are you going to hold whenever the indicator's actually been triggered, right? Or whenever the trigger actually happens? Because we can see here, like if you held for 28 days, you lost 25%. So this was back in November of 2020. This was back at, what price is this? A high of $4.39. The high of $4.39. Call it $5. All right. And then another indicator was hit back here at around high of $5. Excuse me. Another short squeeze indicator right here at a high of $2.11 with this short squeeze indicator, right? Imagine if you would have got in at $5, or $4.90, $5, like, or $2 right here, right? If you would have gotten in on any of these, you'd obviously be very, very high up right now. So this is very interesting information, like very interesting indicators as like, dang, if I would have gotten in on any of these, that would be fantastic. And there are other ones that happen at later times, and this is why I need the scraper, because I need to be able to pull all of these signals, and I need to put them in a spreadsheet, and I need to figure out, okay, it triggered on this date, how high did it go, 24, 48, all these different kinds of hours. Was anything else triggered? Is there any trends, any patterns? I don't know if I'm gonna need some kind of machine learning or something, right? Like, there's a lot of different things that can happen with this, right? A lot of different plays to be made, a lot of different like potential money to be made. And so, yeah, let me sneeze. Excuse me. Gary says, stop being so smart. All we want to know is when the AMC Moon train leaves the station. Gary, I'm sure you will know whenever that train is going to leave the station. Realistically, you know, this is, for me personally, like, this is a side kind of play, right? For me, I'm in AMC. I'm holding an AMC. I'm not reallocating any funds at all. I'm just gonna hold my position because I in my confidence knows that I feel very good about AMC, and I'm really not going to change my position. Now, if I can make some extra money on the side, or maybe find a cool little pattern or cool little something, right, with these kinds of triggers, then hey, maybe I can start a different fund at $1,000 or something and see if I can catch up to my AMC fund by, I don't know, doubling down, doing something crazy like that. And maybe I'll reach there and maybe they'll even up, or maybe AMC go to the moon and this one is left in the dust, or who knows what'll happen, right? But it's a fun little thing to take a look at. And whenever you're I'm sorry, it's a joke. No, I know it's a joke, but you know, there's good stuff to happen. And so, and I'm sure, I know you're joking, but I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, is this guy gonna jump ship or something? You know, I would love to have this kind of separate kind of play, and I have my safe stocks, and then I have some like fun, crazy stocks where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna double down, and I don't know, buy this crazy stuff. Who knows? So that's more or less why I'm looking at these, because I think there's something interesting here. People are making a whole bunch of freaking money, and I like to make money. And so here's another one, right? This is any. So any right here, short interest, any is now up 36.4%. After the squeeze signal this morning, utilization. So let's take a look at any. Is this going to work? Sphere 3D. Okay, this is the ticker. This is the company. And let's look at the short interest first. I suppose we'll go here. What the heck is going on here? Short interest of the free float has gone down. How did this thing get a short squeeze indicator? I guess the utilization is at 100%, right? They're going to have to give back some of those shares. They're going to have to cover some of those shares, or whatever it is. Interesting. And look at that. Their utilization has been high for a very long time. Very, very long time. So let's go ahead and go backwards really quick. And let's take a look at the alpha trading signals, right? Let me take a look here. And short squeeze right here. So the first one was done around here. What day was this? Right here. So the high of $2.35, and then it ran. What's this right here? Looks like this is probably the peak around here. The peak being $4.49. You know, just a bunch of different indicators, right? And not all the indicators mean anything. Sometimes they don't really work out the way they thought they were going to work out. For example, this one is a great example. This one, you know, the high of we'll say $3.79, and then it just kind of tanked, right? Even with these other triggers, unless you bought like down here and wrote it up, kind of like tanked for a little bit, and then it recovered very strongly, right? So not all of them are like great short plays. Some of them are long plays. Some of them you're probably going to cut losses, and I wouldn't blame you for doing so. And you know, you'll miss out on some kind of train unless you're really looking at the data. There's so many different ways to play this, but I think it's I can't help but feel there's something in there, but it's difficult to separate this because they're giving you information. They're giving you free information in here to take a look at. And I want to make sure I get these written down, actually. So let me continue to write these down. So there's a BBIG. There's, what was this ticker? ANY. Okay, I wanted to make sure I got these written down. Root is another one I want to make sure we don't miss. Let's take a look at Root actually while we're here. So this will be the last one that we'll take a look at in Ortex. I'm sure you can see where we're going with this. There's a few other things I want to take a look at and show you, But let's see here what's going on with this one. So the short interest is extremely high. Short interest of the free float, 26.57%, super high. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's funny is wait, has this one even moved? Where's root at right now? How's root looking? Let me go ahead and switch this back to singular and we'll go to root. Excellent. Okay, so let's see what is going on here. So the short interest is, oh, we already did short interest here. Let's look at the utilization is what I'm curious about. Utilization 88.11. So you see, it's hard to say. I feel like the utilization for a lot of these short squeeze indicators are well, they're not. I was gonna say they're almost based off of the utilizations, but the utilization, unless it was triggered, so this is August 17th, looks like was the peak for this. Let's see when this one was triggered on Ortex. Oops. I don't know when root, I guess we can go in here and look at when root was triggered. Root, let's go to the trading signals. I don't know why this one is in here because I don't see a short squeeze trading signal for root. I wonder why this one is even being talked about. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. Not too sure about that one, not gonna lie. Something I do want to take a look at is the AMC institution ownership, seeing if there's any kind of big changes that people are doing. Click for advisory. Interesting. You should make some, is it a buy stripe merchandise? I actually, you know, I have so many things that I want to do. I just don't know. I don't have enough. I'm not going to say I don't have enough time. I don't like that excuse, but I have a lot that I want to do. For sure. Let's see. So here's 8:30. Again, this is just when they filed, not when they actually purchased. But what I do like to look at is the purchasing prices that people purchased at, right? So those are always what I'm curious about, that people are freaking getting in. It's just confirmation bias for me. Some people are getting out, some people are getting in, but I do like to see the numbers that they got in at. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about this, because essentially for the Ortex data, right? This Ortex data is something that I've been wanting to really get these numbers down. And I started kind of manually entering everything, but I quickly learned that a lot of these like people have multiple signals, right? Oh gosh, let's go to, for example, AMC is a great example. Obviously AMC is more so of an outlier, I'd probably say, as far as total short squeeze signals that are on here. But you know, AMC alone has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I can see. I don't think there's any missing from there, but 9 that I can see right here, right? 9. So that would be 9 different of these, and then I'd have to figure out the price, how far they got, this and that, like all this different data to see which way it went, because, and they're all type 3, like, are they all type 3? So just so much different information that I'm trying to get. So basically what I need is I'm screening developers right now that I can I wish I could buy Corey's beard. Thank you, Be Real. So basically what I'm trying to see is, like, you know, if there's a pattern in here. And here's the deal. If you told any investor, like any person that worked at one of these companies and stuff, oh, you know, I'm going to find a pattern, they would think you're like some kind of cuckoo maniac just trying to look. Yeah, Be Real. I'll take a look at that in just a second. They're going to think you're crazy trying to find this information, right? There's no way that you're going to find a pattern. But you know what? I don't really even need to really find a pattern. These guys have, it's a method that they use to find these stocks. Right now, the question is are you going to find them early enough? Are you going to find them? Are they actually going to work? I think support is one of the ones that was a good example. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Yes, support. So support is a great example of if you catch one of these early, but it's also a great example of how long will you hold it? Like, will it happen? So support right here, we can see was triggered. We'll call it again the high. We'll just take a high just to be super extreme of $3.55 is when it was first triggered. But this was back in June 4th. So so full of June, July, August, right? So 3 months you would have to hold this stock. And we're almost in September, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I'm going to add September to it. So basically, I mean, imagine how much time you would have had to been holding this stock. But, you know, would you have held it? Would you have sold out? Because you don't know how high it's going to go. It could peak out at $5 right here and then go back down. And that was it, right? Like there was false, because we've seen it before on the previous chart that we just looked at, that it goes up and then it goes down, right? And you don't know which dang way it's going to go. But if it does go in your favor, I mean, if you have this kind of play, look at this. I mean, this is insane how high it's been going. So let's say you got in back here. We'll just take the high. $3.55, and it's currently at, you know, we'll call it at right here, you know, let's call it at $5. Look at this gain. That's an insane like gain, right? It's wild. So with that in mind, I mean, big stuff. So this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Now, keep in mind, if we were to just go to the Ortex data, right? We can go to Ortex, go to the main view right here. We can go over here to stocks, trading signals, and we can find these trading signals. And then we can find, where's the good stuff? All of these. And then we can go one further, and instead of earnings per share, you know, RSI, we can just look up short. And that'll filter by short squeeze. And we can filter by 1 week. And we can see these are the ones that have been announced for 1 week, right? We can even go backwards. We can go all the way to the ones that were announced. Let's filter by date. Here's one that was triggered on the 23rd. And so basically you would have to go in here and see. So AGFY. So this one was triggered on the 23rd of August. Okay. So we go to AGFY, we go to the 23rd of August, we can see where it has moved or not moved, right? So 23rd of August, just not looking so good. And we can even go one further. Oh, nice. I can open in a new tab. I love it. So we'll open this in a new tab, but we can see that was that the first indicator? Yeah. No, July 23rd, right? But if you would have caught this at the very beginning and just blindly hopped in, look where you would be. Again, the high of 21, you will call it $22, right? High of $22. And currently they're at $29. So not the craziest thing, not 100%, but hey, if you get a solid play every single time after, and again, you don't know how long it'll go. For all you know, it could have gone up to here to 23 from 22, and then that was the end. But that's what I'm trying to figure out. If you played, and I'll put it this way, my goal is to grab all this data as much as I possibly dang can, which is why I want to get that, which is why I'm working with a Python scraper. I'm just picking the right one. If we can determine that if you played every single first indicator blindly and held it for 6 months, where would you be, right? And again, there are certain indicators, but let's say if there's a 50% increase, you sell it, that you sell, and if there's not, then you hold, right? If you can, figure out some kind of formula to where after 6 months you are positive 50%, 100%, 1000%, something crazy, then at the end of the day, I think it'll be worth it, right? 6-month sprints of these kinds of signal trades, get in or get out, make your move. That is my goal. And if I can find that kind of pattern and share it with you all, like, I mean, imagine. And again, it's you're gonna have wins, you're gonna have losses, but as long as you come out positive in the end is what matters. And not only positive, because in my opinion, if you're positive any less than 30%, it's not, I personally don't think it would be worth it. Personally, not at all. And even then, I might even say 50% because of the risk, because it would be very risky, because if you were unable to make your money back at an exponential amount, you might as well put it back. You might as well put it in the S&P 500, something like that, VTSAX, anything like that, and play that way, because it is not, for me, it's not worth the risk, not worth my time and energy. It wouldn't be worth it, right? And that's what I'm looking for in these kinds of plays, okay? So I apologize. I know it's taking longer than anticipated. I really thought I was just going to hash it out really quick, and come up with some, information. But you know what? I'm not here to give you guys a half-baked plan, which is why I'm not just like saying, oh, okay, like, on day one you get this, day two. No, because it's much deeper than that. And so I'm going to have to work with someone directly, and I don't know how much it's going to cost. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm speaking with people, getting quotes, seeing what it's going to cost, but I want to find this right data, because if this is right, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy. So yeah, that's what I have. So Diane, let me see what you guys are saying, and then we'll get wrapped up. Diane says, are you going to do your own type of chart or figure out what they're doing? So Diane, great question. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take their data that they're giving me, and I'm going to try and see if I can analyze it and break it down into something actionable, right? And again, it's going to be something along the lines of, this is probably a good example. Well, this is AMC. 25th. Is this GOL? I like GOL. And so this is one of those things where, I don't know if I still like it. It's been a while. But this is one of those things where we would take a look, right? So we would see the first time it was announced, right? And we can see GOL right here. The first time it was announced was around, what date was this? We'll call it here. Let me see what this says. March 11th. Well, I'm trying to see exactly when this was announced. I also need to see if I can adjust the dates, because 1 week, if I can only go back 1 week, that's pretty lame. We're going to have something in here constantly scraping and pulling this data. It's crazy. Bambino, what is up? Oh, I saw you said hi to me, and I freaking missed it. You always have the coolest intros. I have to find it later. But thank you, Bambino, for the super chat. Corey, hit me up on Discord. I'll throw money in too, bro. Absolutely, Bambino. I'll let y'all know if it comes to it. I'd like to see if I can cover it myself. But in the event they're going to charge me thousands of dollars, I mean, if it's the right product and I think it's worth it, yeah, like I'm going to go. I think it'd be worth it for that kind of information. Especially if there's something definitive in there, and especially if we can pull all of the historical information. Because remember, keep in mind, right? Like David, been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much. So this information, right? Like, they're not talking about all these plays, right? They're only talking about the plays that had an indicator and has gone up or is going up. They don't, like, for example, this one right here. Where's this one? ANY, right? Boom. So it says ANY is now up 36.4% since the Ortex trading signal this morning. So they did the signal. They didn't announce it, though, until it actually moved. So not every single signal they issue is actually moving or winning, right? so keep that in mind whenever you're looking at, oh, is this a play? Is this not a play? But my question is, if we got in every single one of these, where would we net, right? Where would I net, you net, whoever wants to play it individually? Where would you net if you did play every single one of these, right? And that's what I would love to know. That's what I would love to see. So yeah. What's up, Ant? Mo, but will anyone reinforce the rules? Yeah, I see people talking about retirement. I would love to retire. Really want to buy a hat. Oh my gosh, I gotta get my store set up. It's just, I gotta get it set up. It's all right. It's gonna be great. All right, y'all. So hopefully you guys can see where I'm going with this. I'm definitely, as much as I'm gonna like get it done and like share the information and rush it, it's something you just can't rush. Like if it's not right, it's not gonna be good. It's just bad. I don't want to give you guys anything lame. Okay, I don't want to give you guys anything half baked, like I've been saying. Okay. So now I'm just gonna take a little extra time, make sure it's done right, and make sure it's good stuff, right? And hopefully, and if possible, I would love to get something that refreshes this and continues to grab new information as it comes out to constantly adapt. I know I mentioned a Python scraper, but I might even need some kind of machine learning Python scraper thing. I'm just a web developer. That is way out of my wheelhouse, but I'm not ashamed to admit it, and I'm more than happy to see if we can find some kind of good information that we can learn from. Okay. But that's what we have, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We're gonna get this figured out. If anybody has any ideas, any kind of information that they want to see, have this, but anything that and this is not everything that I'm gonna have on there, but anything I haven't mentioned that you might think of, feel free to send me a message anywhere, and I'll be more than happy to see if it should be incorporated, if I like it, if I don't like it, or worth a shot though, right? So all right. Lowell, let me see where AMC ended on the end of the day, and then we will go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll take a look at a few of these. We're watching Root. So in the after hours, I guess it didn't move. BBIG was up 7.22% in the after hours. MMAT. Oh, MMAT. I didn't take a look at that one really quick. Someone asked that one. I'll take a look at MMAT, and then I'll wrap it up there. Come on. All right, while this loads, let's take a look at AQST was up 0.86% in the after hours. Support up 8.27% in the after hours. And AMC was up 0.62% in the after hours as well. All right, so we're back here, MMAT. Let's take a look at this information and then we'll call it there. Oh, thanks, Diamond. I don't know why I didn't get your message. Oh, SPRT looks like it's about to run. Oh boy, I know it did look set up for a run when I was looking at it just now, and I was concerned. Hey, thanks, Ant. All right, MMAT. Let's take a look here really quick. Short interest of the free float. We can see, so currently short interest is 7.17 utilization. See, if I were to go crazy on one, utilization 89% if I were to go crazy on one and put my money on just one of, let me see these, support, ride, BBIG, any route, I think I would put my money on well, let me see what SPRT is, support. See, I'd put my money on either probably BBIG and support is probably where I would put my money on. Oh gosh, I pressed the button now. Come on. BBIG. Let me compare them really quick, I guess, while we're hanging out. You see, the short interest, though, is so dang high. But the utilization, I mean, it's just ready to rock and roll. Ooh, it'd be a hard one, but that's a great point, Gary. So here's the deal. I have two schools of thought to this. Support has FOMO, and people are FOMO buying into support, right? 100%. So it has the FOMO, but BBIG being relative, I would say like a little newer in what's going on, like, you know, for the movements. I wonder if people are gonna FOMO into BBIG in the fear that support is done with. And so that would be my concern, right? That people are going to hop into BBIG because they're like, oh, it's the next support. So they're going to hop over there. Then they're going to hop to the next one, And I think that's what we're in a weird phase of, like, hopping, right? But, you know, there's a bunch of schools of thought that we can talk about forever. But I do agree, right? I think there is the FOMO. I wonder who's going to get FOMO next, which way it's going to go. But definitely something to I mean, I just want to keep my eye on and see what's going on. 60 BBIG, 60% of the free float utilization. Geez, I know, I didn't even look at the 60%, whereas SPRT has 60%, whereas BBIG has 38. Yeah, see, they're both. I mean, this one doesn't even seem like it's done yet, which is insane to me. I agree, Johnny. I don't think SPRT is done, which is crazy. Whew. All right. I'm going to call it there. You guys have a fantastic night. I will catch you guys tomorrow on Tuesday, and we'll make it happen. We'll see which way it goes, because this is getting exciting. All right. You guys have a fantastic night. I'm out of here. Peace.